Hey guys, Teresa here with Sippy Couture. Okay, this design is really simple and cute. I just love it. Even though it's red, I just love it, and I really hope you do too. We're gonna jump right in and get started. As always, let me know if you have any questions. Please subscribe to this channel and share it with any friends that you think may be interested. I would love to grow this little thing, and your help is just so greatly appreciated. All right, let's get started. This tumbler has been sanded and washed with Dawn dish soap, and we're going on just with red spray paint. Normally I like to do white to make sure my colors really have a pop, but the glitter that we're using, it has such a great shine to it. A white base paint before the red isn't even necessary, so just go straight on with your red. Let this dry completely. All right, it's time for glitter. We're going with Tiger's Blood for this glitter. It's from the Snowball collection from Mr. Nola's, and it's a super ultra fine glitter with a great shimmer. It's really pretty. You guys are gonna love it. So I take my tacket, I put a generous amount on my tumbler. I go up and down first, and then you'll see me right here going around in circles to make sure it's coated in every direction. Once I get that done in both directions, I go up and down again, wiping off the excess on just a dry baby wipe or napkin to make sure we don't have too much on there. You can tell whenever this starts to get to where you want it with your paintbrush when you're running out of time smoothing it out, because your paintbrush will get a little grabby on your tumbler. The other thing about tacket is that it goes on white, and as it starts to dry, it goes clear. So you can tell once that clear starts to appear that it's drying. I do like to use my heat gun to encourage it along a little. You don't need a lot of heat for this, just enough to get it to that tacky consistency, because tacket will not dry completely. When it does get to when it's ready, it's super tacky. You'll want a sheet of paper down to catch any extra glitter, and for this one, like I said, we're using Tiger's Blood. It's part of the Snowball collection, and these glitters are super fine. They're like super ultra fine glitters. I don't think you can get much thinner than this without going to a mica. So we're gonna go ahead and pour this around our tumbler, covering all the big spots and definitely on those edges. We are gonna rub this in with our finger, so if you don't have every single drip of red covered, that's okay. The glitter, as you're pushing it around, it will get to that spot, but make sure those big clumps are covered, and then tap it off to keep, sorry, I was looking at that. Tap it off to get any extra glitter off your tumbler, and then dump it back in your little bucket to keep it. Now we're using our finger and we're laying down this glitter. You don't have to be super aggressive for this spot. We're not trying to really rub anything off of our tumbler. We're just laying it down. So I just take a few fingers and slowly work my way around the tumbler, making sure that everything lays down. There's some spots where you can see streaks from where my Mod Podge was a little thick and it really grabbed the glitter. That's okay. What you want to do for those spots is rub your finger up and down the tumbler and then sideways to smooth it out in a different direction. And if they're really stubborn, just move your finger in circular motions, and that will get everything to lay down perfect. So you won't have any streaks by the time you're done with this unless you missed a spot. If that's the case and you have spots where you missed your tacket, you can do another layer and it covers perfectly. But for this one, it's just laying down all of this. Glitter tacket method is what we're calling this. So there we go. Get this all the way around. Okay, you can already start to see the shine that it gives off and the look of how the red just shifts. It's really pretty, and it's not even under epoxy yet, which is super exciting. So 1-to-1 ratio of speed dry epoxy. You guys know I love my speed dry. It goes on so easy, and I can work with it within 2 to 4 hours is what I would say. 3 hours is about the point where I feel comfortable touching it and giving it a light sand if I need to for that next step. So rub this on, make sure you smooth it out and get out any bubbles. This epoxy does love heat, so don't be afraid to grab your heat gun and help encourage it to thin out a little and smooth it on. Be careful with how much heat you're putting on here though. That tacket that we did, the glitter's adhered to it, but if you put too much heat, you're gonna ruin that tacket method. So just be careful. It's just a little heat on here. That heat gun is on low, just enough, like I said, to help smooth it around. And then I'll grab my torch and pop any bubbles. Okay, time to get decals on this one. I went ahead and refined how we did this. We tried it on a live in my Sippy Couture community group on Facebook. Head on over there, join the group if you want to catch these lives. The live was a hot mess. So I found an easier way to do this. I took my Christmas tree pattern and I took my white vinyl and I ran it through my Cricut. That way I can get my Christmas tree shapes. If you don't want to do your Christmas tree shapes with glitter, you just want to do like a glittered vinyl, that would definitely be easier and go for that route. But I really like the way way this Cajun Sparkle Silver looks with this white vinyl. So I'm putting little drops of tack it on those Christmas trees. I'm brushing it in with my paintbrush to make sure everything's covered. Once I'm completely sure that that is covered, I'm going to go ahead and take my white vinyl and I'm going to weed it. I'm going to get my Christmas trees out of there. So I do a little slit because these trees are a little, they're a little temperamental in some areas, the way that they're kind of sketchy cut, I guess. And I want to make sure that it doesn't lift in any areas because we don't want our glitter to get under here. So go through and weed out those Christmas trees. Leave them on your sheet. I almost forgot to say that. We're weeding them out, but we're leaving them on our sheet because they are tacky from that tacket that we just used, and we're going to drop our glitter on there next. All right, I said glitter, I meant mica. Cajun Sparkle Gold is what I'm using for this. It's a mica. It's gorgeous. It's so pretty. It has like a slight gold shimmer to it, but it's like a really pearly gold almost. So I have this really fluffy makeup brush and I'm taking that Cajun Sparkle and I'm just running it onto those Christmas trees so everything tacks down on it. Like I said, if you want to use a white glitter vinyl, you definitely can, or any other color, you definitely can, but I really like the way this Cajun Sparkle looks with this. So wipe that all in, get rid of any extra mica that may be on your sheet, and then we're going to use transfer tape to move this. Now with this mica, the way that it's on here, I'm not even going to seal it. This works great like this. You will notice that some of that mica does start to lift off onto the little transfer sheets, but it's just like the top layer that's loose. So it's still on there, like you're not really losing anything. The best way to do this, also I use I use clear contact paper. I use that for everything I go to transfer. It works really well. It isn't too grippy, so it's not going to rip all of this color off of here. And I can just keep reusing that same sheet. The easiest thing to do is to get your transfer sheet, put it on top of the little Christmas tree, turn that sheet upside down and work off your decal from the back, if that makes sense. You see what I'm doing here. A few of these I did lay just one at a time, but I wanted to keep the grouping that they were in. That way the pattern stays the same. So you'll see me graduate to almost having the 5 or 6 or so on one little sheet and then laying those that way. Like I said, the pattern will stay the way it is on the cup. Also, what I did do and not videoed is I went through and pulled up some pieces and filled in some more spots that needed another tree. I did edit the template so that it reflects the actual design. All right, for the leopard print, I kind of did that same thing. I just did a full sheet, but I did fix the SVG. That way the pattern's actually on there. I have my tacket. I'm running it over my black vinyl, which was already sent through my Cricut. So the leopard print's on here. Once I know that tacket is on all of these areas, I'm going to go ahead and pull away the top of that and leave these leopard prints on the sheet. Do not weed out the inside of those circles for some of these leopard print spots. We need those to stay on there because every once in a while we'll need an extra little dot for accent. We have our leopard foil for this, and you guys can totally laugh at me because I forgot. It didn't cross my mind that the leopard print would stick to my Cricut mat. Super easy to clean though, so it's not a big deal. I have that cleaned off and my mat is still good. We're going to go ahead and cut off a little piece of this metallic leopard that's just so pretty. This is from Mr. Nola's. I think they're out of stock, and I will put a link of where I found it on online. So lay that sheet right on top, and look, this is where you can see it. It gets stuck to my Cricut mat. Just so smart of me. So lay that sheet on top, putting this other one away, and then we're going to take our squeegee and make sure that all of these areas are squeegeed in, that the leopard print really sticks to the tacket that's on here. Now, one of the really smart things about doing this on top of black vinyl is that with this leopard print, it has the black in there. So if for some reason the leopard print doesn't grab on to a piece of the black vinyl, it's played off anyway with one of those spots. So definitely a quick little cheat, foolproof way to make sure that's done. So squeegee that all in and then go ahead and remove that piece, remove the foil, and you will see how the whole foil is just transferred onto those leopard spots. Like I said, super easy to do. Okay, a little mix of method to get these onto the tumbler. Some of them I picked up with my craft knife gently, like I didn't poke too hard under it, just lifted it up just a little so it would stick, and I applied them one by one. After I did a few of these, I was like, you know what, let me just see if I can get a group on there and see if I like the way this looks. Like I said, this template has been altered so that everything fits perfectly in a cute little design, but this was just one big sheet of leopard spots that I ended up using, like I said before. So I'm just kind of looking around the tumbler, putting putting these in different spots, seeing where I want them to go. I did eventually take a piece of transfer tape and just started transferring little groups at a time. And at the same point, I did take up some of those little leopard spots that I did put down and I moved them because I didn't like the way they laid after it was on there. So this was just a little trial and error, putting them where I wanted, lifting it and removing it. And replacing it, I should say. That's one of the good things about this black vinyl that I'm using. It's a removable vinyl, so it doesn't leave a residue when you do lift it from your cup. It's pretty forgiving, and you can reposition it any way you want. So the rest of this is just getting these right where I want in the pattern that I want. Remove them as I feel needed if I didn't like the way it looked, and just repositioned everything and continue on with this. Time for epoxy. Okay, again, I'm going on with Speed Dry from Mr. Nola's. I went ahead and did 2 layers to finish this one up. This first layer I went ahead and put on. I used my heat gun to help smooth it out, my torch to pop any bubbles. 4 hours, maybe even 5 hours later, I went back to it and I grabbed some Imperial wet or dry sandpaper. I wet it just a little and I gave my tumbler a light sand. That way the final layer of epoxy will go onto a completely smooth surface. It will grip well and it will just be a flawless finish. So that was it for this design, guys. I really love the way it came out. It's so simple and pretty, and like I always say, I'm not a red girl, but I don't know, this leopard and red gets me. And I don't know, the other thing that I'm kind of loving right now is leopard print leopard spots, if that makes any sense. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you like this tutorial. Please let me know if you have any questions. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Please subscribe to Sippy Couture Community Facebook group. And that's it, guys. Thanks again for watching. Have a great week, and I will see y'all soon. Bye.